You know, as I was saying earlier, that I didn't even know how this interview and how we would have started. And I am glad now that you have started this way. And it also will give me the privilege as the founder and the priest ordained by His Majesty, expressing the will of the banner, that what I will share in answering your question, I would love for it to be restrictive to the banner, not to say I'm speaking for all the Rastafari mansions. I want to be clear on that. I find the question a bit problematic, and why I say so is because of how Rastafari is perceived overall, whether from a religious or a cultural point of view, the views how people view Rastafari. I think most of the views would be that, or his expectation is that when you say Rastafari, you're supposed to be a vegetarian. A vegetarian would mean abstinence from flesh on a whole. But as one of those Rastafarians, I get to realize that in this year culture space of Rastafari, it is not total to say all Rastas are vegetarians. And you have a higher order in the vegetarian concept. You have some that are vegans, and that is a more tighter aspect, in the aspect of a vegetarian. The vegan is more tighter than just a vegetarian, meaning the vegan would abstain from all dairy product and, as you know, etc., etc. And there's another higher level in the conceptually speaking, and that come now to what the Rastas refer to as the birdman or the bird imple. Now, to me, it is defined now for those that abstain from anything that is cooked. Those in those areas, it is sun-baked or sun-prepared. And we know the sun is what gives radiation. So you have a class in the Rastafari section that don't eat nothing that is cooked. It must be readied by the sun. Now you have some, such as myself, now I would say a semi-vegetarian, because I still consume flesh. There was a time gone I was a vegan totally. So expressing School of Vision now, I don't think it would be fair to say, even though we espouse the vegetarian and the abstinence of flesh as a better approach, not only for Rastafarians, but for people all over, and that is also a medical testimony to that. It would be hypocritical for I to be giving this interview and to give a false impression that all of the members in this congregation, known as Haile Selassie School of Vision, that all of them are vegetarians. No. But as a priest, I find it difficult maybe to be understood. For example, in the Bible, you have two books that is referred to as Leviticus and Deuteronomy, where God commanded in the clean and the unclean, of such and such in the bird section, thou shalt not eat, it is unclean unto you, and of this here, thou shalt eat. And it is protracted further to animals and all of that. So over the years, in my study, I am saying that it would be a draconian enforcement from me, to say, for example, one is baptized in School of Vision, and I know would restrict you to be specifically a vegetarian, and then when you take up the Bible now, because School of Vision is a Bible study, mean it is liberally given for all people. So when you read now, and you, as I said earlier, you come to some parts in Leviticus, and God, not I, or some prophet, but God is saying, this is unclean and that is not, and that is not clean. This is unclean and this is clean unto you. Of those such you shall eat, of those shall not eat, and not even to touch the carcass. So this is where I am today now. I have to be careful. If I should be officiating as a priest, I have to look and be mindful of how I might trespass upon the rights of an individual. Now, in my research and study, though I'm not a medical practitioner, it is all agreed that abstinence, I think I said it earlier, abstinence from all flesh would be more profitable to the human body. In the book of Daniel, we came up with a story, Daniel, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and in the Bible it says the king ordered them to have some special edibles, but the Hebrew children, which is our foreparents, our ancestors, said no, they were not accustomed to that. They would prefer to have plues and vegetable, no flesh, and as they say here, meat. And the Bible says after 10 days, when the king commanded, the examination was, the brethren then, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and even Daniel, who did not eat the king's meat then, yet looked better and more sumptuous, which means it was a medical determination there that the vegetarian were more healthier. So this is how I have operated over the years, initiating the Rastafari School of Vision and Bible study. So unto the world, in School of Vision, it is a division of those that are vegetarians. We have vegans here, and you have some that eat, some eat chicken, some eat fish. So I don't have the authority to enforce that, no, you should not do it, while the Bible says. So I would leave it for your conscience and how you are able to manage yourself. I think that is the most comfortable way. And I wouldn't want to feel as if I'm suppressing the rights of an individual. That is the best way I could answer this question.